Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Today we're going to be wrapping up December. I didn't do very well in the month of December. I only completed 8 books and I DNF'd 1. So we'll go ahead and get that one out the way. And that is Nosferatu. Someone corrected the way I was saying it, so I don't remember, but Nosferatu by Joe Hill. I don't even remember where I got. It started off pretty okay. I was actually listening to this on the audio and the narration was like, it was really giving me life. But then about, I want to say like halfway, not even halfway through. I don't know if I got halfway through. Somewhere around halfway through, I just started getting annoyed with not only the story, but the narrator as well. And I just didn't care anymore. So we follow Victoria McQueen, from like her early childhood, say around, I guess, I don't know, early teens, to like a grown adult. And she has this ability to sort of go back and correct things if she find things, like she would like drive her bike over this bridge and it would become, she'd end up wherever she needed to be, like to find something that was missing, or I don't know. So it was very interesting in the beginning. And then we have Charles Mance, who is our, I guess, some sort of vampire, and he would drive around collecting children, luring them in to go to this Christmas town. So I was expecting more of that, more of like Christmas town and like these children, but you really don't get that. In fact, you really don't get much of Charlie Manx. Maybe you do later on. And there's also another character that we follow, that's kind of Charlie Manx's sidekick or something. I don't know. I lost interest and I just didn't care anymore. And I got to the point where I didn't want to like listen to it again. I didn't really like, I really just wanted to move on with my life. So I DNF'd it. And I know some people have liked it. Debbie loved it. I think she said it was one of her favorite books she's read in the year of 2021, or last year, I guess I can say that. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. And I'm kind of like that with even Stephen King, and this is his son Joe Hill. I find the writing styles are very, very similar. So, and Stephen King is very much hit or miss for me. I actually much rather the movie adaptations of his books over the books. I don't know what it is, but anyway, yeah, there we go. Moving on. So I picked up Not a Happy Family by Sherry LaPina. So this was disappointing in a way, but I really enjoyed like the entirety of the story. I ended up giving this like a 3.5 star because the ending just didn't do it for me. It just let me down kind of thing. But this is about a very rich couple who get murdered, and all their children, I believe it's 3 children, are considered suspects because they all have a reason that they could kill their parents. These parents were not the best parents in the world. So yeah, all 3 of them have some sort of motive that they could have killed the parents. So yeah, the entirety of the book was really interesting. It was very fast paced to me. I really enjoyed, I did listen to this on audio, really enjoyed the narration, and just enjoyed the suspense of like, who could have done it, you know, and because they all had good reason, you know, or was it somebody completely out of the family? Because we follow other people that are somewhat part of the family, but like for instance the housekeeper, and then like there's a friend of one of the siblings. We follow her, and then we follow her mother. There's really a lot of people that we follow in this book. So it can be a little overwhelming at first, but after you get over like who's who, it was really easy to follow. But yeah, in the end, I just really just wasn't impressed. It just had so much potential and it just didn't go there for me. It was still a good read though. So then I jumped into Jingle Bell Rock. This is by Ella Frank and Brooke Blaine. This is sort of a compilation story of their beloved characters. So we have Solo and Panther from the Elite series, which I have loved. Then we have, and they won tickets to this sort of like Christmas ball event that a famous actor from another series is putting on. Ace and Dylan. I don't remember what series they are from. And then we also follow Logan and Tate from the Temptation series. And then we have Robbie, Julian, and Priest, which are also from a series. They're from the Confession series. I did have that wrote down in my Goodreads. But it was really fun. It was really fun getting to know these characters. And then of course we follow band members from the group Fallen Angel, who will be performing at this Christmas ball event. So yeah, I just had a lot of fun just, you know, reliving other characters that I've already read their books, and getting to know new characters that I want to read their story. It was just Christmas fun. Like I said, they're putting on this like Christmas ball charity event. The band Fallen Angel was playing, and it's just, yeah, and we're mainly following the band members. It was just fun. I enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars. Then I finally picked up The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. This did not go well for me either. I gave this a 2-star. It was just very slow, and once I thought things would pick up, it just started dragging again. I just couldn't fully like grasp the story or really like get into it. So yeah, so we have The Sanatorium. That is now renovated into like this 5-star hotel. Back in like 2015, the architect who was building, or you know, the architect of the hotel is like what? The architect of this motel, our hotel, goes missing in like 2015. So the opening is sort of, you know, put on hold, and then finally it opens up. And then in current times in 2020, we're following Ellen, who is with her partner Will, and they're going to celebrate her brother and his fiance's engagement at this hotel. While they're there, things start to happen. People that are associated with the hotel seem to go missing. It sounds very good, but it just, I don't know, the way things played out just wasn't doing it for me. We were following like one of the housemaids in the beginning, and then all of a sudden we're not following her. I do give spoilers in one of my videos. I'll link it down below. I think it's one of my Vlogmas videos, because I read this, of course, in December while I was vlogging. But yeah, it's hard to really talk about why I didn't like this book without giving anything away. So if you've read it and you loved it, great, that's wonderful. It just wasn't for me. But yeah, if you want to know, I explain why in that video, and I'll have it starred or whatever linked down below with the rest of my Vlogmas if you want to go check it out. Then I picked up another Christmas Mail romance. This is The Geek Who Saved Christmas by Annabeth Albert. Super, super cute. I gave it 4 stars. It was a little slow for me for some reason. I don't know if it was just like the month of December. I just couldn't, I wouldn't say I was in a reading slump. I just couldn't like find anything that was really like doing it for me. But this was really cute. I really enjoyed it. It's about sort of like this nerdy kind of guy who his name is Gideon Holiday. He loves the holidays. He loves decorating for the holidays. He's involved in all the neighborhood events and meetings. And then we have Paul Frost, who is a little bit more on the grumpier side. Never really decorates his home during the holidays. but deep down he's just a squishy teddy bear. Gideon ends up helping him. He actually asks Gideon for his help because his brother is coming home. Paul's brother is coming home for the holidays, and he plans on popping the question to his girlfriend. So Paul wants to make it, you know, like something that they can remember. So he doesn't necessarily hire Gideon. Gideon almost like just offers all his help that he can because he really ends up liking Paul. And in a sense, I found it was a little insta-lovey, because you get the sense that Paul is such like this cold character, and I just felt like he needed a little bit more of that grumpiness. But it was just like all of a sudden he was like a better guy. I don't know how to explain it other than the fact that I just felt it was a little too insta-y. But I still adored both the characters. They're in their 40s. I love that. So I guess, you know, they're not playing around. So I guess you could look at it like that. They're ready to get into this relationship. But yeah, it was a great Christmas themed holiday mail romance. At the beginning of each chapter, there was like entries that, because they have like this neighborhood app that all the neighbors, sorry, I have a hair. All the neighbors will go post, whatever in this app. So at the beginning of every chapter, we have like a little post of what everyone is saying, and it kind of adds a little something to the story. But yeah, I think you should put this on your list for next Christmas, or, you know, if you're feeling in the Christmas mood throughout the year, why not? It was really cute. Another cute mail Christmas romance. This is Tic Tac Mistletoe by N.R. Walker. This is actually the first book in the Heartbridge Christmas, and I believe there's a book 2. I just didn't get to it this year. It actually came out last year. The new book came out last year in 2021. Tic Tac Mistletoe actually came out in 2020. But this is a cute little story about Hamish and Ren. So Hamish is from Australia. I actually listened to this on audio, and the audio was really fantastic. At first I was a little like, I don't know. But he did a fantastic job at the Australian accent as well as the English accent, because Ren is from the States and Hamish is from Australia. So Hamish is sort of starting over. He wants to come to the States, live closer to his sister and her husband. So he's moving down for the holidays, and he kind of gets stuck in a snowstorm. Long story short, gets stuck in a snowstorm, and Ren comes to his rescue. Ren has lived in this small town all his life, is in Montana somewhere, and he has taken over the family business. He doesn't, you know, he's just kind of to himself. He's had some love and loss in the past, but he just figured, you know, love is not for me, or another partner or partner in my life is not for me. And then Hamish steps in, and Ren kind of just takes care of him and helps him get where he needs to be. So it's their little story of like how they meet and how much closer they become over a matter of like, I think it's like a week or so. So it can be insta-lovey, but to me it played out really well. Like N.R. Walker did it great. I didn't find it was, you know, too soon. I felt like their relationship really, it really did fall right. I don't know. It flowed well. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But I gave it 4 stars. Then I picked up another Sherry Lapina. This is the end of her. And I just realized I didn't like do anything on Goodreads about this book. I didn't even like put on there that I read it. So that messes up my stats for the year. But anyway, this is about a young couple. They have just had some twin girls. The twin girls are very colicky, so they're very fussy. So the couple is struggling, not necessarily in their relationship, but just just struggling to kind of get their life together with these two babies that are just constantly crying. So yeah, we follow Stephanie most of the time, and then her husband is Patrick. Patrick has a little bit of a past that Stephanie doesn't know too much about. He lost his first wife, but in comes Erica, who is also from his past. She was the best friend of his first wife, and she has just come in and just started making trouble for everybody. Well, first of all, I didn't like her at all. She's not a good person. I don't know if blackmailing is maybe something that you like to stay away from in a book, but it's definitely here in this book, although it's not bad. I don't like blackmailing. It makes me anxious, and it just kind of it pisses me off mainly. But so yeah, Erica comes back into his life and sort of threatens Patrick. There's some other people that she sort of takes advantage of as well. But then you start to wonder, the things that she is saying about Patrick, are they true? Are they really true? Did those things really happen? You know, you don't know who to trust in this book. And then I didn't even know whether to trust Stephanie. Really didn't know where she stood. So it was really good and intense in that way. You know, not really knowing who these characters really were, who they were, the person that they were truly hiding from. But then something happens, and I don't know, I was just like, wait, what? So I gave this a 3.5 star because just because of the fact that I thought it was entertaining, and it did get pretty intense. But I just feel like things could have been handled in a different way. But, you know, then again, it is fiction, and I guess this was a way to make things more interesting, the way things played out. But I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like it could have been done better. I don't know. But yeah, all in all, I enjoyed reading it or listening to it. I did listen to this on audio, and audio is fantastic. But yeah, I just wasn't all there for how things played out, but it was still fun. Then I listened to Right as Rain by Lucy Lennox. I had this kind of sitting in my Audible library, so I just decided to go ahead and listen to it, because I think after it was after one of the books, I was just like, I need something, and usually that's something I go into a memoir romance if I need to write myself. So yeah, I picked this one up. This is the first book in the Astor Valley series. This is Tiller and Mikey's story. Tiller is a professional football player, and Mikey is a aspiring chef, I guess, but he's also the coach's son. So Tiller's coach's son. So Mikey is assigned basically to help Tiller with his nutritional needs and kind of be like his live-in chef, and like his I guess like his kind of like his, not necessarily his manager, but his assistant, I guess. So that's kind of what Mikey ends up being. But what I missed about this story, I gave this 4 stars, by the way, but what I missed about this story was the in-between, from because Tiller and Mikey meet and you don't get too much of a vibe between them, and then all of a sudden it's like 5 years later and they're totally into each other. I wanted that in between. So that's really the only thing of this story that I just missed and I wish I would have got. But Lucy Lennox did a great job with continuing showing us how great of friends that Tiller and Mikey are, and how good of friends they became over the years, and how they just trust each other and lean on each other for different things. So yeah, it's just kind of about their relationship, from like friends to lovers kind of thing. But it's really cute. I had a good time with it. Other than the fact that, I wanted a little bit of that middle, of how maybe they started having that attraction, because it just kind of jumps to that attraction. But it was still a cute story, and I want to continue on with the series. And lastly, the third and final book of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. This is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. And I am so disappointed to report that this is like a 2.5 star. So we're back following Pip around. Pip has been through some stuff, y'all. She's really had a hard time. She is struggling. She's got some PTSD. I don't want to say too much to the fact that there's 2 other books in front of this one in case you haven't read those. But I feel like in this book we lose Pip a little bit, and she becomes a different person. And I expected better of Pip. Around the middle of the book is when we get our twist. And it's kind of like, what? And then from there, for me, it just went downhill. It was very slow to start. And I just felt like Pip was, I don't know, Pip was sort of getting on my nerves a little bit. But I mean, I don't want to, I mean, like I said, she's been through a lot. I can't relate, but yeah, for me, it was just really slow. And then we get to this point of the book where you're thinking, okay, things are about to really happen. But what happens was just a WTF moment, and I just felt like it, I expected so much better from Pip, our beloved character. And we also, like, the podcast vibe of the story of As Good as A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is gone. We get a little bit of it in here, but it's completely gone. But yeah, I don't want to disencourage anyone from picking up the third book. If you've already read the first 2 and not the third one, definitely pick it up. You may like it. We all have different tastes. But and I know I've seen on Goodreads, because after I read it, I was like, am I the only one that's feeling like this? So I saw a mixture of people that loved it and then had kind of really felt the same way I feel. So yeah, it's just on how you take it. But I loved the journey. I still love Pip. But yeah, I didn't like the way things played out in the end. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about this book. All right, y'all, that is it. That is everything I read in December. I know December was sort of one of like the worst months I've had as far as reading goes, but it was, you know, it's the Christmas holidays. It was a lot, and then I ended up getting sick for Christmas. So yeah, but anyway, it's all good. It doesn't matter how many books you read. It really doesn't matter. It's all whether you enjoy those books. Pick the ones to try to enjoy it. Although that's very hard sometimes too. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank y'all so much for watching. As always, let me know in the comments what you've read in the month of January. Do you feel the same about any of these books that I mentioned today in this video? Let me know. Let's chat about it in the comments down below. Hope y'all are having a great new year so far. Hugs from me all around, and I will see y'all very, very soon in a new video. Bye, y'all.